distant flickering screen of scenery, this weather's bringing it all back again. Great adventures, faces in condensation. I'm going outside to take it all in.
Alright, YouTubers, once again for another quick update on the saltwater tank. I've been slacking as far as videos go. I just got done for 2 weeks now working 63 hours at the pet shop, so I really don't have a whole lot of free time on my own, so I figured it's probably a little after 1 o'clock in the morning, maybe close on 2, but I figured I'd get something already. So I got some good news and I got some bad news about the saltwater tank, as it goes with just about any kind of fish tank, I assume. We've lost some fish and we've lost some coral, and we've also gained some fish and we've also gained some coral. So I guess let's get a close up and take a look at it. The tank itself is growing a little bit of algae on the front. It's just got regular brown film algae. Otherwise the rest of it in the back isn't that big of a deal. So that the algae control seems to be being handled fairly well. So we've got the cleaner shrimp right out front this time. I believe he was hiding back in the last video. Even more of a treat, we have the porcelain crab who's right out front. Pretty good size for porcelain crab. For some new corals, we got some new mushrooms. Once again, I can't tell you specifics on them. And we have a little frag of acans. This is a new territory for me. I was not aware that acans were supposed to be fairly hardy, easier to take care of compared to a lot of other corals. At least that is how it was described to me by a buddy of mine who I work with. He's got all sorts of different coral. He's grown all different sorts of stuff. I mean, he's got the most top-notch, high-quality LED lighting. His tanks are just I can only dream. But this is what we've got for right now. Just the basics, just simple stuff. So all the coral that I did have that was loose has been glued down, except for that acan, because I brought him back last night. The urchin seems to be doing just fine. I've got all my star polyps sticking out right here. Got the little lawnmower blenny. Something else I'm going to point out here, I do have hermit crabs inside the tank. One specific species is going to be the Hawaiian zebra crab. We got a bunch of them at work and I picked them out of the tank just because I like the color. There's not really a specific reason other than just the pattern. I mean, they're really cool looking. So I do have a whole bunch of these guys spread out through the tank. There's also two black-legged. I don't know, they got darker color on them, and one of them is a blue leg. So those are mixed in there. They were accidents. Actually, the first two, the black legs, were originally put in here, but I got sick of them, so I got little zebra guys. Very cool. So that's that. So let's go on to more corals quick. We still have the other mushrooms here. It's early in the morning and all the corals are pissed off because they don't want the light anymore except for the star polyps. So things are kind of tucked in and shutting down. Over here, it moved from its rock, is a blue spotted mushroom. One of the more rare species. You got the zoanthids up here with the orange center, as well as the one over there. And then we have some zinnia that is growing back. It was actually mowed down to the very base. There was nothing left on it. So it's growing back, which was incredible. I never would expect that a little pink slime would be able to grow any kind of life after that. I mean, you're literally looking at this zinnia right here, but it was just that little, if I can even focus on it, just a little, barely anything looked like a piece of slime. That was it on the rock, and it grew zinnia. So I was very shocked by that. So there's one of the little zebras. Also in the back we've got some more star polyps. It's a smaller colony. It hasn't been doing too well. Oh, and another zebra. I got more in here than I figured I did. My bird's nest did not make it, as you can see. I kind of predicted that. One of the issues that I had go on in the tank is we had my giant turbo snail die because the hair algae is no more. So here's the shell. He was rotting in the back right next to the bird's nest, and I had not a clue that he was dead. And I'm putting that kind of towards the reason why I lost the bird's nest. Just because of that high kind of nitrate spike in the tank from a rotting snail. So that's the only other reason I can pick out. What else we got? We got the urchin, and next to the urchin are the zoos over there, and the zoos down here, both of which are hiding. These, not that, where's the other patch? The red patch up there. They seem to be a little bit more out compared to usual. However, this patch has been closed for the longest time. If you have any clues to what that could be, I'm assuming it's nitrates, but I'd have to take a look. For example, my entire colony of pink star polyps is dead. Well, I take it back. It's starting to grow back a little bit, but not a whole lot. It all happened at once. All the coral looked like crap for whatever reason for the longest time, or the shortest time. So I don't know what that was. I don't know what that can be. If you have any clue what could be up, just let me know. That'd be awesome. If you have any coral experience. So now we'll go to fish, I suppose. One of my favorites, the long-finned fairy wrasse, or as a lot of people would say, wrasse. I say wrasse just because it sounds cooler, I guess. But anyway, he's been in the tank for about 2 weeks now, eating on flake food, very healthy, fat, very, very beautiful fish. I absolutely love them. My plan is to get more fairies in the tank. I also have one other species in here other than the yellow chorus wrasse. I have a Solorensis wrasse, which is tucked back, hiding somewhere in the rocks. He was just out, so he's also a very beautiful, colorful fish. I'll have to make a video during the day when he's actually out. We've got the clownfish, we got the 2 zebra dartfish. What else we got? We got a peppermint shrimp, Sally Lightfoot crab, right down on front. Also new, I think you guys haven't yet to see this one. I got a brittle starfish. I'm not sure if I've showed this one in the last video. He's doing a pretty good job of just picking up whatever's on the bottom. I try to get fish that have a specific job. For example, hermit crabs will go in between the little crevices in the rocks and pick out any leftover food. The lawnmower blending will take care of algae on the glass, algae on the rocks in general too. The cleaner shrimp will help pick at dead scales and parasites on fish. The zebra dartfish are kind of just there, as well as the clownfish, of course, and the yellow chorus wrasse will pick at, let's see, nuisance starfish and some tube worms, I believe, bristleworms maybe, and the peppermint shrimp is supposed to take care of bristleworms as well. What else we got? Brittle star takes care of the bottom. Porcelain crab just kind of filter feeds. He's just kind of a cool little guy to pick up particles in the water, I guess. And the Solorensis wrasse, I've got nothing. He's just kind of there, but he's awesome. I wish he was out so I could show you guys. So bad news, I guess. We lost both of the scissor-tailed gobies. They were both, even the one at work wasn't good and didn't even make it. They had probably internal parasites. They weren't gaining any weight after they were eating, and if they were eating at all, they were eating very little. So it just wasn't fun there, so that wasn't good. It was kind of like a doomed thing from the beginning, but I figured I would at least give it a try. One other thing is going to be I lost the diamond sleeper goby. I'm not sure on that one. I don't know why I would have lost him. He was found at the bottom of the tank, being picked up by hermit crabs. I had noticed some heavy breathing in the past couple of days for whatever reason. The water quality seemed okay. I didn't notice any issues with it, so I don't know what his issue was. And then last but not least, I lost the yellow watchman, or the light-banded yellow watchman. The story with him is I brought in a splendid dotty back, absolutely gorgeous fish, beautiful fish. He was doing okay at work. He seemed to be doing all right. He was getting along with the other fish, so I brought him home. Bad decision. He was very aggressive. He tore at anything and everything, even the lawnmower blending and the gobies that were tucked in. So I mean, I took him out as quick as I could and brought him downstairs in the basement, where I now have a 55-gallon saltwater tank that I reset up. So he's down there, but he messed with the light banded watchman to the point where he got a fungal infection on the end of his tail, on the side of his fin, and he just didn't make it through treatment. So when you start with saltwater, you make mistakes. You live and you learn. It's a very difficult process. I'm not saying by far that saltwater is easy to get along with. It's not something simple where you can get a bunch of tetras and have everything coexist. I mean, you can get a bunch of chromis together and you'll still see fighting, and it's a pain. But once you get going, once things seem to do okay, it's rewarding. It's cool. It's fun. It's something different. I never thought that I'd ever try coral. I figured that'd be something I would just leave to the experts. But it seems to be doing okay as long as I keep it the simple stuff. I'm hoping the A-can really sticks out later on tomorrow. He was knocked over by probably the sea urchin, so I had to pop him up just now. It's fun. It's different. If you ever want to take a walk away from freshwater for a little bit, definitely set up a little tank. One myth I'm going to break down out there is that you cannot have a small tank. You have to have a large tank. I'm going to shoot it down right away. I'm going to disagree. I myself have had 3 10-gallon tanks with saltwater running with no issues. However, I have 2 right now because I took down the one because I just didn't have anything in it, and plus it's going to be a new home for a crested gecko. As long as you have the salt levels right, as long as you've got all the levels right, your nitrates check out, your ammonia checks out, your pH looks good, your nitrites look good, it's fine. It's not going to be any different than if it's larger. Yes, if you do add larger amounts of something by accident, you can really throw off the levels in the tank because it's a smaller space, but that's a given. If you get a hold of that, you control that, you shouldn't have any issues at all. For example, I set mine up in a matter of a week without any issues. Added the salt, let the tank sit, added some live rock, let it sit, and let the filter run through it, and I haven't had issues with it. So it's recommended to go larger because once you get started on a little 10-gallon tank, you're going to realize that you wanted something bigger. I help people at work all the time that set up saltwater tanks. They start with a 10-gallon, they go to a 20-gallon, they go to a 40-gallon, they go to a 55-gallon, and then soon enough they're looking at a 125-gallon. Why? Because you need more space. You can't fit a bunch of fish in a 10-gallon tank. I have, 4 or 5 upstairs in a 10-gallon tank, and they still fight and pick at each other unless I've got good hiding spots. It's difficult. It's not the same as throwing a bunch of freshwater fish, some goldfish, some tetras, they get along. You got to pay more attention to it. You got to make sure you get the right fish. So the bigger is the better. Why? Because it opens up to a lot more ideas compared to a simple 10-gallon tank. However, it does involve money. If you're going for just a fish-only tank with nothing else, I set up a 55 downstairs with just my salt, and that's it. I have the rock here already and everything. It raised my pH. It's good. But if you're going into coral, it gets more specific. You got to have the live rock in there. You got to get the right kind of levels. You want to make sure everything's maintained at a proper level. It's more work. It's more work, but it's very cool and rewarding. Also to throw out there, my bubble tip anemone is climbing the side. He was doing a somersault over in the back by the urchin, so I scooped him over by this corner down here, and he's moved all the way up the glass. And the clownfish refuses to host in it because it's constantly just out and about. So, one last quick comment before I continue ranting on about saltwater. As far as lighting goes, I did have someone ask me what I recommend. If you're going for a basic, simple, soft coral setup, nothing too fancy, just really cheap, easy stuff, go with a T5 lighting. I myself have had a T5 4-foot bulb on here. I got it from Petco, which goes against the shop I work at, but I got it from Petco for 20 bucks. That's a pretty damn good deal in my opinion compared to what I've seen them for sale at different pricing. I've had the bulb on here for the past 4 months now, and I also added a compact fluorescent bulb, which adds a lot more lighting. The coral seems to like it. So I mean, it's basic, it's simple, it doesn't take a whole lot of energy. However, if you're going for a long-term thing, you don't want to be replacing bulbs and you want something that puts out a good amount of energy without taking in a lot of energy, go with LEDs. Yes, it's going to cost you close to 300 bucks for a simple little setup. However, it's worth it in the long run, personal opinion. Yes, it's expensive. However, it's cheaper to run and it puts out a lot more light for the coral. It grows coral a lot quicker. Even with my simple 4-foot bulb, simple 18-inch LED fixture with maybe 60 light bulbs on it would do one hell of a job compared to my two larger lights right here. So I mean, LEDs are the newest thing. Yes, I'm just starting coral, so this is all new stuff for me. However, I am up to speed as far as lighting goes. You start with a regular T12 to a T8 to a T5, and now it's, you know, you got halogens, you got halides. If you want to save the money in the long run, you want something that's quieter, something cooler, as far as temperature goes, and something that is probably going to do you just as much work as a big halogen or a big halide bulb is going to do. Go with the LEDs, because it's gonna be a lot better for you in the long run. So yeah, that is the saltwater tank update. If you guys got bored as to listening with my different information, I hope you muted the video and just paid attention to the tank a little bit. And I plan on having a video hopefully soon. I say plan because I've got a lot of stuff coming up. I've just been busy. I haven't really been running out very often. It's pretty much go to work, come home, see the girlfriend, go back out to work, come home, see the girlfriend. So I get 2 days off in the week and that's about it. But anyway, I will definitely try my best to get a new video out there. In case you guys saw or didn't see, I have a new channel out there called ABMQ Madness. The 4 letters stand for our names, Alex, Brady, Matt, and Quinn. Madness is just the word that we came up with for our golf cart video that we uploaded about a year ago. This is all from last year. And it was just good, fun, simple stuff. We plan on uploading new videos to that channel just because we've been talking about it for the longest time. There is a plan for random, absolutely pointless, dumb, yet hopefully funny videos to be put onto it, so pay attention for those. And if you could, please subscribe. I'd appreciate it greatly. I'll be the one in charge of that channel as well, but they all are aware of it, so check that out. I'll post a link in the description, or maybe one just right on the video, and subscribe, like, send me any comments or anything. Like I said, I will get a video of the 150-gallon tank downstairs yet, so be patient with me. I will get there eventually. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I will all talk to you. I think it's time for sleep. I will talk to you all next time.